Everybody, we're going to do some canning today. We're doing some green beans. I've got the water heating up. I've got everything staged so it's pretty close and ready to get going. So we're going to start with the beans. Let me readjust the camera here real quick. What we're doing is I went ahead yesterday, I picked all these beans and snapped them. Now what you'll hear some people say is that you should go ahead and cut the beans. And what I mean by that is they're going to have you trim the beans like this and cut. That's fine, but if you do a pile of beans, your thumb's going to be hamburger by the time you're done. So what I do is I go ahead and take the tips, this is the stem side, and then this little I don't know what you want to call it, that's going to stay there, but take these and pop those off. And then you just go ahead and break the beans into bite-sized pieces, and saves you a whole bunch of hassle when it comes to using a knife to get those chopped up. So I just saved a few to show you how I do it. It's pretty quick. I've already got everything put together. In a previous video, I did all the pieces and parts you're going to need for canning. I have a bowl ready to go, and I have my vegetables ready. They've been soaking in salt. I just used some regular table salt and sprinkled over the top a while ago, and they've been sitting in here. Okay, so while we're waiting for all of our water to heat up, we're going to go ahead and take the colander, and we're going to get them put in our bowl. Get the dish soap out of there. Now this is raw, uncut video, so there's going to be a few bloopers, I'm sure. Go ahead and get all these vegetables rinsed. Oop, see, this is another opportunity for you to double check that you've got everything cut into sizes, you didn't miss anything. Goes without saying, you want to sterilize your sinks. I use bleach, then I rinse everything out. See, this is another good reason to do this, is there's a bit of a bad bean there. Sterilize everything with bleach and rinse it out. I've already went ahead and prepped all my jars. I washed them in the dishwasher with bleach, and those are sterilized, and we're going to sterilize them again in a bath of hot water. I've got a big stock pot over there. When that gets, that's what I'm pretty much waiting for, is that stock pot to get up to full temperature, and once it does, we'll be ready to go. Okay, we got our beans ready. We'll go ahead and get rid of this water. Alright, we readjust. It sounds like we're starting to boil over there, so let's go ahead and see what we got. Oh yeah, we're at a good rolling boil. So what I'm going to do is get some of my pots, some of my jars in there, and we're going to be using pint jars. I don't know how many it's going to take to do all of these, and we're just going to go ahead and get them all in there, ready to go. Wide mouth and small mouth. So let's start out with the wide mouth, I guess. Let's get those in there. Turn that down a little bit. Okay. what we want to do here is make sure we're coming up to temperature here. You put 3 quarts of water in here. I had 2 quarts already in there, and that was the last quart. So we get 3 quarts of water, and then just a splash of white vinegar, a couple tablespoons. This is to keep the jars from getting water stained. Okay, so we're going to turn that up to medium high. Okay, and that's going to get ready to go. Be a little bit closer to hot when we're ready to go here. All right. Now, in the other video about all the stuff you're using, I told you that, I mean, Morton's salt is great to use. It does have a filler in it, so it could potentially make your canned goods have a bit of cloudiness to them. So I'm going to go ahead and use some canning salt. All right. You make sure everything's set here. I've already got a few lids put in there. I'm going to put a couple of the wide mouth lids in there as well, because we're going to need those. Okay. Now we just have this water warm. We don't have it hot. We just want to warm up those seals. And let's go ahead and start getting our veggies canned up here. Okay, there's one. It's hot and ready to go. We're going to fill this up. Okay, that's about what we're looking for there. And our salt. I'm going to make life a little easier on that. Pour a little salt in the bowl here. Okay, there's a half a, what is that? Half a teaspoon. If you were doing a whole quart, you'd use a whole teaspoon. And we want to add some hot water to that, so let's go ahead and use a cup. Alright, now if you remember in the other video we talked about, we're using these. These have also been sterilized. So we're going to stick this down here and we're going to be removing the air bubbles. Okay, we want 1 inch of headspace, so it's actually a little less, but it's okay, not going to hurt anything. Let's use our magnet. Well, oh, we forgot one step here. We want to make sure our rims are clean and free of any debris. There's that. Okay, we're just going to tighten that up, hand tight. Put that That's what that looks like. It's pretty. Okay, we're going to put that in there, and we'll go on to the next one. Let's go ahead and drop a jar and get rid of these largemouths. Okay, we put one jar in. Pull one out. Okay. And again, we're going to fill it up with our product, in this case our green beans. Alright, and then we're going to put our salt and our hot water. Get rid of the air. I know this might be a long, kind of boring video, but figured, hey, let's do it from beginning to end. The only thing I am going to do in between is I'm going to stop the video when it comes time. We're not going to sit here and watch the kettle boil, if you will. We'll wait, I'll pause the video, I'll stop it in between and either do a part 2 or, well, there's can number 2. Either do a part 2 or we'll do a, I'll try to splice them together in the editing software. Okay, we're ready for the next jar. Okay, we got to throw a couple more of these largemouths in there. I think I've got 5 largemouth pint jars altogether. Alright, let's go ahead and let's try it without the funnel this time. It's wide mouth, shouldn't need the funnel. Okay. Salt is optional, not required, but hey, salt's a great food preservative, so let's throw it in there. This is called the cold pack method. If you were doing a hot pack method, you'd have already had these blanched you'd have boiled them for about 5 minutes and blanched them and then packed them in there. There's pint number 3. So this is pretty quick and easy. Stick a pint in. And pull a wide mouth out. You know what I forgot to do on that last one is make sure I wipe the lid, but I'm sure it's fine. We can double check it real quick. Let's do that just to make sure. And let me just double check this one because I can't remember if I did it or not. Alright. Okay, we add our salt. And our hot water. Okay, so I ran out of memory on my memory card there, so I got down to the last can that would fit in the canner. Because I'm using wide mouth, a little bit bigger in diameter, I'm not able to fit as many in there as I wanted to. So I got about 1 pint or so left over. Maybe we'll just incorporate these in with dinner tonight. Okay, so we got the canner full. The canner has, bring this over so you can see it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wide mouths, and then I have 3 of the regular or small mouth jars in there. And what we're going to do is get the top put on. There's an arrow here, there's an arrow there. You go ahead and get this set on there. Line the arrows up and then turn it. Oh, let me back up. One step you need to do is to verify that you can see through here. You want to make sure that that is not clogged up. Alright? So we've got that on there. We want to turn it up on high. Use relatively high heat to go ahead and get that, get everything going. We're going to watch for the steam to come out. And let's see, where'd my shaker go? We need our shaker. There's the other shaker to my other small pressure cooker, 5, 10, and 15 pounds settings. This Presto has rings, so there's 5 pounds, there's 10 pounds. So we want to set this at 10 pounds, and we want to cook these for 20 minutes. We're doing pint jars, so we want to go 20 minutes. If we were doing quart-sized jars, we'd go 25 minutes. But before we start to count, when we get the shaker shaking, see if I put this on there, there's no shaking going on, pressure hasn't built. But what we want to do right now is get everything purged out of the inside of this. So we crank it up on high, we get the temperature up where it needs to be, and you'll start to see this come out, and you let it purge for about 10 minutes, and then put your top on. It should start shaking. You count down 20 minutes, so let's go ahead and get our timer set to 20 minutes. And I'll come back to it after I'll come back to it here in a minute. We'll try to splice all these videos together in editing. Okay, we're up to full temperature, and we've been venting for, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes, I don't know, something like that. But we're about ready to get up to full temperature here. You can see that this is starting to try to rise. When this pops up, the lid will be locked. I've got my shaker ready to go, and it's almost been 10 minutes. I think it's been long enough. So let's go ahead and put the top on it, and this should pop up. She builds a little more pressure. And there we go. Now we're starting to build pressure. Okay, now our shaker's going. It's not going very vigorously, but it is going. So that's what we're looking for. We'll go ahead and start the timer for 20 minutes. Alright, and then we'll come back when it's time to shut her down and take it off. Okay, so we're done. Timer stopped. I went ahead and shut the power off on the burner. We'll just wait for this to naturally cool off, calm down and slow down, and we'll break into it after it's done and cooled off. We'll be back. Here we go. We let it set and rest for about 30 minutes. It's cooled down, shaken, stopped, and our button dropped down. So we'll go ahead and open it up. go ahead and pull some of these out and see how it's looking. There it is right there. Temperature is dropping inside the jars. And what we're looking for now is the lid to pop. It'll suck down once it gets down far enough. Once it cools down, the pressure drops inside the jar, then it'll pop. Ting, ting. You'll hear them popping. We'll see how loose these tops are. They're pretty tight. If I really wanted to do up that last bit of beans, I suppose I could fire this back up, but I would just feel that it'd be a waste of energy to electricity to do that. So I'm not going to do that. I'll put them in the refrigerator. We'll have them for supper. Alright, so there we go. We got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 pints of green beans, and that's pretty much it. That's all there is to it. So now I'll let these cool down and see if I can get them all to seal. And then after that, that one I accidentally touched. Which one? This one pulled in, which is the first one I pulled out. That's something you don't want to do, okay? You don't want to push that in. Looks like that one's already pulled in. Alright, that's it. We'll see you guys in the next video.